Hello and welcome to Home Assistant Tips by Larry. Before we get started, we are going to assume you already have a working instance of Home Assistant and you already have ESPHome installed and working and you know how to flash a microcontroller with ESPHome. Today we are going to install the automatic bathroom fan in the wall of my bathroom. As you can see by this wiring diagram, we have added a new piece of hardware. It will convert the 120 volts AC to 5 volts DC that the ESP32 and the sensors and relay board need to function correctly. This is the new piece of hardware I talked about in my previous video. The link for this wiring diagram will be in the video description. Here's the parts list breakdown for this project. The links for the parts will be in the video description. Here, I am installing the D1 Mini ESP32 and the power converter we talked about earlier on the back of the blank-off plate. I have already soldered wires onto the components and added heat shrink to the power converter wires. Now I will hot glue the two sensors to the blank-off plate. I am putting the two sensors in the middle of the plate so the touch sensor will be placed in a good position for touching on the front of the plate. Don't forget to drill a hole for the BME280 sensor. Also, it is a good idea to hot glue all of the wires on both the sensors and the D1 Mini ESP32 for both protection of the wires for coming loose and the prevention of them touching other metal in the wall box it is going to be installed in. After the glue dries, I will strip all the power wire ends and solder them for both the plus and minus wires. Now, I will cover both the plus and minus wires I just soldered together with heat shrink. Now it's time to install what we just built into the wall of my bathroom. Here I am using a power wand to detect which of the wires are the line or hot wire and which is the load wire, that's the one going to the fan in the ceiling. Now I will turn off the circuit breaker and to make sure it is off I will test the wires again for power. Do not try this yourself unless you are comfortable with working with mains power. There is enough voltage to hurt or even kill you, so please be careful. Now I am cutting at the ends of the wires because I will be using something called a WAGO connector. These are perfect for connecting multiple wires together, but they need straight wires to work correctly. Now I will pull out the neutral wires. These wires are white and there could be as little as 1 or as many as 3 or even 4 in the box. These have to go to the end connection on the power converter module. Now I am going to connect the load wire, that's the one that goes to the fan to the relay module. The load wire was the one that was connected to your old switch. There were only 2 wires connected to the switch, the live wire and the load wire. Look at the wiring diagram we discussed earlier to see how this should be connected. Now I am going to turn the power back on at the circuit breaker box and test before I push all of the wires into the box. Once I have everything installed into the box, I will turn the circuit breaker on one more time and test it again to make sure it is working correctly. And as you can see, everything is working. This project allows you to have the exhaust fan in your bathroom to be turned on by touching the touch sensor, or when the humidity sensor reaches a certain level to turn on automatically and then turn off when the humidity falls below a set level. You can even have the LD2410C millimeter wave sensor I talked about in my previous videos turn off the fan if you forget to after you leave the bathroom. The code to get the sensors working in ESPHome will be linked in the video description. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel so we can continue to make these videos, and as always, if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments section. See you next time.